sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa
Stunning elegant billionaire kneels for Eala, the $1 billion IN dollar proposal she declined in 20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Champions Tennisics. If you believe you understand the realm of tennis, if you believe you've witnessed it all, the grand slams, the trophies, the prize money, you need to sit down for this because what we are about to reveal today isn't just news. It is an earthquake that has shattered the foundations of the sporting world. We are talking about a moment so shocking, so unprecedented that it has left billionaires trembling and the tennis elite absolutely speechless. We are live from the heat of the Middle East where the sands of Abu Dhabi are shifting not because of the wind, but because of a seismic event involving the young Filipina sensation Alexandra. You know her as the rising star, the warrior who never gives up, the pride of the Philippines. But as of this morning, she is the woman who did the unthinkable. We have received reports verified by stunned insiders of a secret meeting, a golden palace, a kneeling billionaire, and a contract proposal that makes Cristiano Ronaldo's salary look like pocket change. We are talking about $1 billion. And the answer, a 20-second silence that rang louder than any stadium cheer in history. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you will understand why Eala is not just a tennis player. She is a legend in the making. Let's set the scene. The tennis world has descended upon the UAE for the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open. The atmosphere is electric. The stadium is packed to the rafters largely with the Filipino community who have turned the complex into a home arena for their idol. Eala has been tearing through the draw. Just days ago, we saw her incredible resilience against her best friend Zayn Sonmez, and then that heart-stopping impossible comeback against Alexandra where she came back from 4 down in the decider to save match point. The girl is on fire. She's playing with a spirit that money cannot buy, but apparently someone thought money could purchase it. According to exclusive leaks from the quarters of power in the UAE, the buzz around Eala isn't just about her forehand. It's about her marketability, her grace, and her potential to be the face of a new era. Enter Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan. We are talking about one of the most powerful men in global sports, the Manchester City owner, a man whose wealth is virtually limitless. The reports state that after witnessing Eala's magnetic connection with the crowd, the way she commands the court, the way the fans chant her name, the Sheikh decided he didn't just want her to play in Abu Dhabi, he wanted her to be Abu Dhabi. The narrative we've uncovered describes a scene straight out of a movie. Following her dramatic quarterfinal qualification, Eala was allegedly whisked away not to the locker room but to a private ultra-exclusive wing of the Zed Sports City complex, a VIP enclave dripping in opulence. The room was reportedly lined with velvet, the air scented with oud and jasmine. Waiting for her was Sheikh Mansour himself, but he wasn't sitting on a throne. In a moment that has shocked cultural observers and sports analysts alike, witnesses claimed the Sheikh, overcome with the vision of what IO represents for the future of Asian tennis, actually kneeled. Yes, you heard that right, a billionaire royal kneeling. And then came the proposal, the Abu Dhabi proposition. We have seen the leaked details and they are staggering. This wasn't a sponsorship deal, this was an empire. The proposal involved Eala effectively renouncing her tour freedom to become the permanent queen of a new rival tennis circuit based exclusively in Abu Dhabi. The number's a $1 billion down payment instant cash that is more than the career prize money of Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic combined. On top of that $600 million per year for 10 years, a guaranteed $6 billion payout. But it didn't stop at cash. The perks were designed to seduce a young star. Private Boeing 787 Dreamliner customized with gold-plated interiors and a dedicated medical suite. Her own massive tennis complex, the Alexandra Abu Dhabi Arena to be built on a private island, and the creation of the Abu Dhabi Diamond Tennis Championship, a tournament where she would be the perpetual headliner with a prize fund of $150 million. It was in proposition to make her the richest female athlete in history, instantly eclipsing Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, and every other name in the book. Imagine the pressure. You are 20 years old, you have fought your way up from the ITF circuits, you have battled injuries, travel fatigue, and the grind of the tour. And suddenly a blank check is placed in front of you that secures not just your future, but the future of your great-grandchildren. All you have to do is say yes and stay in Abu Dhabi. The room fell silent, the Sheikh waited, the entourage held their breath. The silence stretched for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. The tension was thick enough to choke on. Viewers, can you imagine the thoughts racing through her head? The poverty she could alleviate, the power she could wield. But then Eala spoke. She didn't shout, she didn't get angry. She stood tall, looked the billionaire in the eye, and gave a short, calm, yet proud answer that has since spread like wildfire through the whispers of the tennis elite. While the exact transcript remains a closely guarded secret of that room, insiders suggest her words were a variation of this devastating truth. Your Highness, my passion is not for sale, and my country's flag is not a logo you can purchase. I play for history, not for gold. She walked out. She left $6 billion on the table. This refusal has sent shock waves through the sport because it reinforces everything we have seen on the court this week. Let's bring this back to reality, to the tennis we are actually watching right now in Abu Dhabi. This story of the refused contract provides the perfect backdrop to her performance against Alexandra Saskovich. Think about it. If she was playing for money, would she have fought back from 4 down in the third set? When you are down a double break, legs burning, lungs screaming, and you are just a paid mercenary, you fold. You take the check and you go home. But Eala didn't fold. She dug deep into a reserve of courage that no billionaire can find. She saved a match point. She clawed her way back point by grueling point, fueled by the chance of lean Pilipinas from the stands. That comeback wasn't about a paycheck. It was about pride. It was about the integrity of the sport. When she finally clinched that victory in the tiebreak, the roar from the crowd wasn't for a billionaire's asset. It was for a warrior. This context makes her current run in the Mubala Abu Dhabi Open even more legendary. She is now set to face Ekaterina Alexandrova in the quarterfinals. The stakes are incredibly high. She is the underdog on paper, but after what we've just heard, after the story of her turning down the easy road to unimaginable wealth, who would dare bet against her? She has chosen the hard road. She has chosen the path of the true champion, where respect is earned through sweat and tears, not bought with oil money. The reaction from the tennis world has been a mix of disbelief and awe. Social media is exploding. Fans are calling her the Iron Princess. Comments are flooding and saying that Eala has restored the soul of tennis. In an era where golfers are defecting to rival leagues for massive payouts and footballers are moving to the desert for retirement funds, a 20-year-old girl from the Philippines stood firm. She reminded everyone that the glory of lifting a Grand Slam trophy, of hearing your national anthem played on the world stage, is priceless. And let's not forget the queen of the court narrative. Even without the Sheikh's title, she has effectively crowned herself in Abu Dhabi this week. The Filipino community has turned out in thousands. The energy they bring is unmatched. When she plays, it feels like a Davis Cup match. She isn't just a player to them. She is a symbol of hope, of resilience, of the idea that a Filipino can stand toe-to-toe with the giants of the world and not blink. Now, to truly understand the magnitude of what just happened, we need to dive deeper into who Eala really is and why this decision is so consistent with her character. This isn't some random act of defiance from a spoiled athlete who already has millions in the bank. This is a young woman who has clawed her way from humble beginnings to the precipice of tennis greatness, and every single step of that journey has been defined by sacrifice, determination, and an unwavering commitment to representing her country with honor. Alexandra MGO was born on May 23, 2004 in Quezon City, Philippines. She grew up in a country where tennis is not the first sport that comes to mind. In the Philippines, basketball reigns supreme, followed by boxing and volleyball. Tennis facilities are scarce, coaching is expensive, and the infrastructure to develop world-class players simply doesn't exist in the same way it does in the United States, Europe, or Australia. But Alex's parents saw something special in their daughter. They saw a fire, a competitive spirit that couldn't be contained. At the age of 4, she was already swinging a racket, and by 6, she was competing in local tournaments. Her early development required enormous family sacrifice. Her father had to work multiple jobs to fund her training. Her mother became her first coach, her nutritionist, her psychologist, and her biggest cheerleader, all rolled into one. The family made the agonizing decision to send young Alex to Spain at the age of 12 to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Majorca. Can you imagine? 12 years old, barely a teenager, shipped off to a foreign country where she didn't speak the language, away from her family, her friends, everything familiar, all for the dream of becoming a professional tennis player. The Rafa Nadal Academy is no holiday camp. It's a pressure cooker designed to forge champions out of raw talent. The training is brutal. 6 to 8 hours a day on the court, followed by fitness work, mental conditioning, and video analysis. The competition is fierce. You are surrounded by the best young talents from around the world, all fighting for the same dream. Many kids break under that pressure. They get homesick, they get injured, they burn out, but not Alexa. She thrived. She absorbed everything like a sponge. She learned to speak Spanish fluently. She adapted to the European clay courts. She developed a complete game, powerful ground strokes, intelligent net play, and a mental toughness that would become her trademark. Her junior career was nothing short of spectacular. In 2020, she became the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title when she captured the Australian Open Girls Championship. But she didn't stop there. In 2021, she reached the finals of the French Open Girls event, proving that her success wasn't a fluke. She also won the US Open Girls doubles title, showcasing her versatility. These weren't just wins, they were statements. They announced to the tennis world that the Philippines had produced a legitimate talent, someone who could compete with anyone, anywhere. But here's where the story gets even more inspiring. Despite her success at the junior level, the transition to professional tennis has been brutal. The women's tour is unforgiving. The competition is relentless. The travel is exhausting. The injuries are inevitable. And for a player from a country without a strong tennis federation backing, without major sponsors lining up, without the financial cushion that players from wealthier nations enjoy, every tournament is a gamble. You pay your own travel, your own accommodation, your own coaching fees, and if you lose in the first round, you go home with nothing. you actually lose money. Alex has been grinding on the ITF circuit, the lower tier of professional tennis, where prize money is minimal and the conditions are often less than glamorous. We're talking about matches played in small clubs with maybe 50 people watching, staying in budget hotels, eating cheap meals to save money, all while trying to maintain the physical and mental condition required to compete at the highest level. It's a world away from the glitz and glamour of Wimbledon or the US Open. It's a world of lonely airport terminals at 3:00 in the morning, of ice baths and cramped hotel bathrooms, of wondering if you made the right choice dedicating your life to this brutal sport. And yet, through all of this, Eala has never complained. She has never taken the easy route. She could have accepted one of the many lucrative offers to play exhibition matches in Asia for quick cash. She could have become a social media influencer, trading on her good looks and her inspiring story to make money without the grind of actual competition. But she didn't. She kept her head down and kept working because her goal was never about money. It was about proving that a Filipina could reach the top of women's tennis. It was about inspiring the next generation of Filipino athletes. It was about making her country proud. This background is absolutely crucial to understanding why she turned down the Sheikh's proposition. For someone who has sacrificed so much, who has been separated from her family for years, who has endured the loneliness and the financial uncertainty and the physical pain, the idea of selling out, of abandoning the legitimate tour for a manufactured money-driven circus, would be an insult to everything she and her family have fought for. That billion-dollar proposition wasn't an opportunity. It was a temptation, a test of her character, and she passed with flying colors. Now, let's talk about the broader implications of this story for the sport of tennis. The timing of this alleged proposition is fascinating, because it comes at a moment when tennis, like many sports, is facing a legitimacy crisis. We've seen the rise of exhibition events with massive prize money, but no ranking points. We've seen retired legends come back for Saudi-funded exhibition tour. We've seen the sport fragment between traditional tournaments and new money-heavy alternatives. The question at the heart of all this is simple. What is tennis really about? Is it about competition, about proving yourself against the best in the world, about the purity of sport, or is it just entertainment, a product to be bought and sold to the highest bidder? Eala's decision is a resounding answer to that question. By walking away from the money, she affirmed that tennis is more than entertainment. It's a meritocracy. It's a place where your ranking is earned through victories, not purchased through contracts. It's where legends are made on center court at Wimbledon, not in private arenas built for one player. Her decision sends a powerful message to every young player coming up. Stay true to the sport, don't take shortcuts. The glory is in the journey, not the payday, and let's be real here. The proposition itself, as spectacular as it sounds, was fundamentally flawed. Think about what it was really asking her to do. Give up competing against Sutek, Sabalenka, Rybakina, Goff, and all the other top players in the world. Give up the chance to walk onto the grass at Wimbledon, onto the clay at Roland Garros, onto the hard courts at the US Open. Give up the dream of hearing the Philippine national anthem played after she wins a Grand Slam in exchange for what? Money. Sure, lots of it, but also isolation. She would become a prisoner of her own wealth, forever known not as a champion, but as the girl who chose money over glory. I'm super happy with the game, how I played. I think she was a tough opponent and yeah, tough conditions out there, very hot, but I'm just very happy. I think overachieving is a thing, as they say, dream big. I think that we had the potential to. Alex, after a terrific year last year, how does it feel to be making your main draw debut with Melbourne? It feels great, I'm super excited. Surprise, excited. Can you give us an update on what you're feeling on your life? Yeah, there's a bit of discomfort and feel the support, especially during a loss or during the tough moments in the match. I think it really makes cushions the blow. I am.